Leaves were everywhere, a chaotic green blizzard that blinded me. I found a massive fallen log, a giant that had succumbed to some past tempest. It was my only hope. I grabbed the largest leaves I could find, thick, waxy ones that felt like rubber, and wrapped them round myself like a makeshift blanket. Then I crawled underneath the log, wedging myself into the mud and roots. The ground was already turning to soup. Cold brown water was rising fast, climbing my legs, my waist, with every passing minute. The small fire I had worked so tirelessly to build, my one beacon of warmth and hope, was gone in an instant. A single furious gust of wind and a torrent of rain, and it was extinguished. Sizzled out of existence, darkness closed in, a profound, absolute blackness that was only broken by the terrifying, brilliant flashes of lightning. For a split second, the jungle would be illuminated in a stark, ghostly white, revealing the chaos around me. And then the thunder. It wasn't a distant rumble. It was a physical concussion that vibrated through my bones, shaking the very log I was hiding under. The cold was a different kind of enemy. It started in my fingertips and toes, a creeping numbness that slowly worked its way inward. I began to shiver, not just from the cold, but from a deep, bone-chilling dread. It would have been so easy to give in, to let the exhaustion and the fear take over, to just close my eyes and let whatever happened, happen. But that's not survival. Survival is an act of defiance. It's a series of small, deliberate choices. I had to keep my mind sharp, even as my body screamed in protest. I needed to focus on the now, on the next second, the next minute. So I started to control my breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth, slow, deep, deliberate. I counted each breath, 1, 2, 3. It gave my panicked mind something to anchor to. It was a rhythm in the middle of the chaos. I listened, past the roar of the wind and rain. I listened to the sounds of my temporary shelter. I could hear the water sloshing around me, feel the log shift slightly with the stronger gusts. I realized I couldn't fight the storm. That was impossible. The key wasn't to fight it. It was to endure it, to outlast it. My hands were shaking uncontrollably, but I forced them to work. I felt around in the dark for sturdy vines, the kind that were strong and fibrous. Using my teeth and a small, sharp stone I always kept with me, I managed to cut lengths of vine. In the pitch black, guided only by touch, I began lashing my leaf wrap tighter, securing it to the roots under the log. I reinforced my position, trying to create a more stable, slightly more waterproof cocoon. Then I addressed the water. It was still rising. I used that same sharp stone to dig. I clawed at the mud and soil, creating small trenches, tiny canals to divert the flow of water away from my body. It was grueling, exhausting work. My fingers were raw, my muscles ached, but with every handful of mud I moved, I felt a tiny spark of control. I wasn't just a victim of the storm, I was actively working to survive it. Hours crawled by. Each minute felt like an eternity. The cold was relentless. It seeped into my bones, and I could feel my energy draining away. I thought about warmth. I pictured my fire. I imagined the sun on my skin. That night, in the heart of that raging storm, I chose calm over fear. I chose action over despair. And that choice made all the difference. Every challenge we face, big or small, is a storm of its own. It's in those moments of pressure that we discover what we're truly made of.